Hi, my name is Jerry Wise. I'm a therapist at Family Tree Counseling Associates in near Indianapolis, Indiana. Codependency. If everyone else is okay, I'm okay. I consider that the Codependence Model or the Codependence motto for life. And I think it's common for those of us who have experienced codependency in our lives and are dealing with the pain of codependency, which is a part of this video as well. I want to talk about the pain of codependency and how we are very focused on making sure everyone else around us is happy, and that our own happiness and our own sense of self is usually very low on our priority list. So what is codependency? We tend to be, as a result, lack a sense of self. We tend to be over-responsible because we make up for other people's deficits. We tend to be very caretaking in our behaviors and in our relationships. We value ourselves on a low scale. We value others to a pretty high scale or high degree. We tend to be overly nice, which can flip into being overly angry or reactive, and then going back to overly nice. The way in which we experience our own self, we lack a self-definition and self-differentiation when we navigate our emotional systems and our relationships. And not having that self, which is a good compass or a good rudder on our ship, since that ship is not ruddered by ourselves or sense of self, it tends to be navigated and ran by everyone else and what everyone else thinks and everyone else wants and what everyone else thinks is good for us. And in doing that, we find ourselves often shipwrecked, and it creates a lot of pain for us as a result of that shipwreck, because we're not the one captaining that ship. Everyone else is. And we're hoping that if we let everyone else be in at the helm of our ship, that they will like us, love us, take care of us, and in those ways we then find what I consider happiness. It's a codependent happiness, but it's not the deep sense of healthy, mature satisfaction and happiness. It's more superficial and more fleeting. A lot of codependents, particularly before they get into recovery, experience a lot of pain with their codependency. The bad thing about pain is that pain hurts. The good thing about pain is that it can motivate us to change and help us to gain insight in what we need to change. Pain can be an indicator for us to show us where we need to fix things. And for codependents, once that pain reaches an extreme or a critical mass, or we flip over the line of pain in our lives where it becomes virtually intolerable, then we get help, and then we go try to find out what do we need to do to change our lives. Unfortunately, that can be a wait of many years, and we find ourselves in a marriage of, say, 20 years, and we've got kids in our lives, and we find, gosh, I'm just not happy. All I've done is take care of everybody else. All I've done is work for everybody else, try to make sure everybody else is taken care of and happy, and I find I'm not very happy. And now I've lived this life, and I'm just not very happy at this point. And then things begin to break down. So what are some of those things that I would call the pain of codependency? If we live our lives the way I described at the beginning of the video, we then have, as a result, exhaustion, in which we just get tired because all we're doing is just over and over again. We're worrying about focusing on other people, their needs. Are they happy? Are they staying out of trouble? Are they progressing in their lives? Our focus is on others and very little to any focus on ourselves. I want to talk about and mention, when I talk about a sense of self, often that comes up in conflict with a lot of religious or theological teachings, because a lot of us have grown up in churches, synagogues, temples, religious houses in which we have been taught that self should be looked on not only with maybe suspicion, but even as anti-God or anti-spirituality, that a sense of self-denial is what is valued, that we should not be selfish. And I believe those religious tenets are not bad tenets. They're not bad teachings. It's just that if you've grown up as a codependent, then we can read Scripture and read Bible and read spirituality in a way that's not very healthy. In other words, we'll leave out the passages like in the Bible which are know thyself and those kinds of things in which we really do need to have a sense of self so that we can be the spiritual person we need and want to be. We tend to deny the sense of self, and I think that really creates a lot of difficulties and problems for a lot of religious people. And so when I talk about self, I'm talking about a healthy self, not a selfish self, but a healthy self. Because out of a healthy self, we then can give to others and love others in a healthy and mature way. Codependents also experience the pain of guilt. There's a great book called When I Say No, I Feel Guilty. That was a book I read many, many years ago, but it was a very eye-opening and helpful book, that someone can actually say no and not feel guilty. My life was racked with guilt as a codependent, and I think for most codependents, guilt is something that keeps the codependency in place. You can't find and have a sense of self because who's going to get hurt around you? How are you going to make somebody unhappy around you? Your family of origin, your parents, your husband, your wife, your children, your pastor, your other friends, your co-workers. You will feel guilty for finding and owning a sense of self and your own choices and what's healthy for you. That is opposed to having a healthy life, and that you should feel guilty about that. That's a common theme for codependents. Codependents also experience and feel the sense of worry and fear. There's often worry and fear that's going on a very regular basis. Certainly enmeshment is a part of the pain of codependency. We are often enmeshed with friends, co-workers, spouses, children, and that enmeshment is, while on the one hand produces kind of a nice, cozy, oceanic feel where we feel, quote, connected in some way, but enmeshment always comes at a loss of self. We don't enmesh without losing a sense of ourselves. And losing or giving up that sense of self really is painful. Codependents also tend to feel a lot of neediness. They are needy. And with that neediness, we never have our needs met. We never feel filled up inside. And out of that neediness, we're always looking for more because our cup is never full. And as a result of that cup never being full, we're always looking to try to fill that cup. And we try to fill that cup with others, from others, by doing for others, and that creates a real problem and pain. We have, I think, as codependents, a pain of having a susceptibility to problems within a system. For example, I know people whom, say, let's take a church. I know from my own background, and one person is unhappy in the church, and that creates anxiety throughout the whole church. And we as codependents are susceptible to that anxiety, that system anxiety. But the same can be true at work. Somebody becomes unhappy at work, and now all the codependents are all pinged. The system has pinged them about that anxiety, and they don't feel a sense of calm or non-anxious presence. They're now anxious because somebody's unhappy. Same in family of origin. So having that susceptibility that's always there really creates some difficulties and pain. The codependent feels a low sense of self-worth, and a low self-image. Maybe they don't really feel they deserve to be who they are, and that others wouldn't love them if they really knew who they were. And so we're always playing the image game and making sure everybody is happy with our image. Are they happy with us? Not just being who we are. And that creates a lot of pain because we don't feel good about who we are. And we weren't taught that we should feel good about who we are. Codependents experience pain by experiencing the emotional noise of our unresolved past. There's always that noise emotionally going on in us because of unresolved problems from family of origin, from growing up, and those struggles still exist. Often codependents feel a lot of shame. Not only do they do things in which they feel guilty, shame is about who you are, not what you've done. And so there's a feeling of shame that I'm not right. There's something wrong with me. And we feel shame. Then the fear of abandonment. And feelings of abandonment is also a part of codependent pain. We feel like and worry about people are always going to leave us. People are always going to be unhappy with us. We don't deserve that people would just love us for who we are. So we always have to be doing things to feel loved. These are some of the pains of codependency, and if you experience these, I hope that you will find help and get help for yourself, because codependency is something you can recover from. Having worked with thousands of codependents over the years, literally thousands, it is very gratifying to see them after a time of therapy begin to have that burden of codependency lifted from them, when they begin to feel good about themselves, maybe for the first time, and feel like they deserve to be who they are, and they can love themselves in a healthy way. I find them finding balance in their lives, in relationships, in work, and in other ways. Actually, codependents are very strong. They're very strong people because they're very good at caretaking, which also means they can take care of themselves once they redirect that in a healthy way. Codependents have lots of strengths in that they are very empathetic, for example. They can empathize and often have over-sympathized with other people. And out of that empathy, they can find empathy for themselves and empathy for others in a very balanced way. I also find codependents really are very insightful people. They just haven't known what normal is. And I might recommend for those who are codependents the book What's Normal by John Friel and his wife. An excellent book on what's normal. Also, you need to hook up with a therapist. You need to find someone to help you with your reality checking and also healing the wounds of the past. If you live in the Indianapolis area, I hope you'll make an appointment. Call me and come and see me. If you don't, and no matter where you live and you have the internet, Skype and FaceTime counseling is available for you. Give me a call, and you'll see on the screen my phone number, my email address. I hope you'll send me your email address. I'll be happy to send you new videos and new information about recovery and healing. I hope this video has been a help to you, and please join our Family Tree Counseling channel on YouTube. I think I've got about 60 videos on YouTube. Those are free to you to learn and to grow. I hope you'll join the conversation. Hope you'll like the videos and make comments. I appreciate you watching the video today, and Have a great day.